Hi, good morning, Carly. How are you?
Good morning, Ian. I'm great. How about you? All
Awesome.
cold
Well,
weather.
I was just shoveling. My arms are tired. What the heck? We recorded this on what day is this? Monday, right after the snowstorm yesterday. That was crazy, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, I know. We were out shopping. All of a sudden, there's white stuff coming down everywhere.
Yeah, we had a Rotary fundraiser in Lanceville. We're thinking this is great, right? Snowstorm. Nobody's going to come, but it turns out it was pretty good.
Oh, good.
Yeah, people came. It
Nice.
was good. So we're here to do our video. This time we're going to talk about something different than the stats. We're going to have the stats in a separate slide in our newsletter, but I wanted to do a video today about all the tax changes the provincial government is doing to help home buyers, right? And a lot of this is starting on the 1st of April, right?
Yes.
So we're going to go over this together. These are the changes they've tabled, and big ones are coming to the real estate markets, including the one on property transfer tax. So Carly, why don't you start on this one?
Yeah, actually, we have some buyers that are benefiting from this immediately, really. Increase in fair market value threshold for first-time home buyers. And previously, it was up to 700,000, and now it is up to $835,000. And so obviously, depending on yeah, how that all plays out, there's different, it's kind of a graduated system, but we get into the nitty-gritty once it applies to you. Anyways, we're happy that our buyers are benefiting from the increase in the amount because it makes a big difference for people, right?
Well, it
So
does. With interest rates where they are, every penny counts. And while we are seeing certainly an uptick in the market, aren't we, as far as activity goes? This is going to be a big help for people. And the other one that's on here is the increase in the threshold for newly built home exemption, right? So effective in April, the threshold to claim the newly built home exemption is increased from 750 to 1.1. Now, this was, of course, comes about because of the marketplace. There are no new homes for $750,000. The math doesn't work. If your lot's 450 and it's $300 a square foot to build a house, it can't be 750. So that's why they raised it up to 1.1. I'm
And
sure.
I think with this one, the newly built home exemption, I think the big difference that it makes is for people to when they can buy a home with an authorized suite in it, right? So it kind of gives them more options with the mortgage helper in there when they're visiting their lender. So I think that one's great.
Mhm. They also have a purpose-built rental exemption. Now, this is not going to be for the average consumer, but these are for people building purpose-built rental buildings. And if you drive around Nanaimo, you can see dozens of these. They're everywhere. We were downtown yesterday, Carol and I, and there's a few buildings going up behind the Telus building downtown. You see all the construction there. Wow, it's going to
Mhm.
be big on Wallace. And there's another one on the other end of Wallace, right close to the Tim Hortons, right by the elementary school, right there. There's going to be a new rental building in
Mhm.
front of Pauline here, and those buildings are coming up because they're giving exemptions to builders. And the federal government's idea, or provincial government's idea in this case, is to get more rental opportunities and increase the housing stock, right? And the last one is the anti-flipping tax, another anti-flipping tax. This one's targeting home flipping activity and short-term speculation. That begins January 1, 2025. So this tax applies to the sale of residential property held by an owner for less than 2 years, with the seller being taxed up to 20% of the income from the sale. So this comes from the idea that someone buys a house for 600,000, fixes it up, and sells it for 750 8 months later. That's what this is targeting. There's a debate. There's always a debate when the government brings in a new tax, right? Is this actually going to help or not? How often does this happen? But it's 20% of the income from the sales, and to specify properties sold within what 1 year are taxed at 20%. And again, it's a declining scale, Carly, like a lot of these are, between
Mhm.
366 and 730 days, and exemptions may apply in certain circumstances. I think it's like a job transfer, family separation. There's another one too, I think that this wouldn't apply, but these are some significant changes, aren't they?
Yeah, and I think there's more details that are coming out too to kind of clarify it as time goes on. But they always set the dates out a little bit so that we have time to figure out more of those details. But it's good news.
Mm-hmm. And we are seeing some. You're working with a buyer right now, aren't you? That just happened to hit this right on that button, didn't they?
Yeah, and actually, it's a good strategy to plan your dates if you are in that target for April 2nd and 3rd. And we actually just like the stars aligned and it was already for April 2nd and 3rd. And so it's nice when that works out, because if it was earlier, then we'd be scrambling to move them. But it worked out really well in this case. So
Yeah. And just to wrap up, overall, the market's busy, isn't it? I mean, I've had so many people ask me lately, what's making the market get busy all of a sudden? I think there's just a pent-up demand, in my opinion, and people are tired of waiting. What do you think?
yeah, people are ready to move. It's been exciting actually the last couple of weeks. So yeah, if you need help, give us a call.
As always, reach us on our website, ianthompsonrealestate.com, or Carly, what's your direct number?
250-618-6245.
Fantastic. Have a great day.
You too.